How do you make the wisest investments in life? That's what we're going to talk about on today's 5-Minute Focus.
All right, well, thank you for joining us for this 5-Minute Focus. We are going to read what I believe is the greatest wisdom for investing in our life and to have the greatest return in our life. And it's found in Proverbs, and it says this: one man gives freely, yet gains even more. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Wow, that's the opposite of what we think. He sums it up this way, and here's the point. A generous man will prosper. He who refreshes others will himself be refreshed. So really what the Bible's telling us here is that the greatest investment that we can do, how we get back the most, is by being generous.
Yep.
By being generous. And
opposite of what the world says.
Opposite of what we think. We think save everything, I'm number one. But yet we say in here that being generous, we get back the most. And we've heard this before. I mean, we've all heard what goes around comes around, haven't we?
It's better to give than to get.
It's better to give than to get, all of that, and what you plant in the ground is what you're going to reap. And always you put one seed in the ground and then you get 100 seeds more. So we all know this principle. How do we practically live this out in our life?
What are some steps we can take?
Yeah, I think the first step that we can take is being generous with our time. I know time is money, right?
Time is very valuable.
Generous with our time. And I think with the principle that God is telling us here is that, hey, if we spend time with others, others will spend time with us. They'll refresh us. And I know that I make a practice in my life to spend time. I mean, I put in my calendar, spend time with my elderly parents, to spend time with family. If we don't, I know I never will.
Yeah, it doesn't happen.
Make it a part. Spending time with people. And not only that, just spending time with people in the community, especially when people are troubled, they need advice. Sometimes they just need a friend. Spending time with them is the greatest investment we can do in our lives, because the principle is it comes back to us. That we are refreshed when people are spending time with us when we need them most.
So
that's the first one.
What else?
The second one is we can practically, in just our regular lives, is to be generous with our abilities or with our talents. And I think every one of us have talents. You might think, well, I don't really have any talent. Maybe you do. If you know a lot about gardening, you can help somebody else garden. You don't have to get paid for it. Help them out. I know you play guitar.
I do.
And, hey, just spending time with somebody who might be interested. Hey, I can spend some time with you. Not a ton of time, but hey, I can spend some time with you teaching you what I know without getting paid.
For a focused purpose in something that I'm gifted or talented in.
If you
any
see
trade,
any trade, if you know how to a carpenter, if you have ability at something, and you see in a relationship, or you see somebody in your family, somebody in the neighborhood, somebody you work with says, hey, I'm kind of interested. I wish I knew how to do that. Hey, you know what? Why don't I come over and help you? So we can be generous with our resources of our talents and our abilities.
And then obviously,
and I think the last one is financially. And I know that people don't turn it off right here, because if we believe in this concept, what goes around comes around. If we believe that what you plant in the ground grows even more, if we believe this, then we need to put it into practice. And I love this. Whoever refreshes others is himself refreshed. I love it. It says, whoever gives freely gains even more. It's against our calculators, but it is a principle that works in our life. So being generous financially. Now, this could include helping people in need, if they are truly in need, helping somebody. And maybe somebody not in need, you just want to bless somebody. Maybe it's your brother's kids. You want to get them extra Christmas gifts, or maybe it's a coworker. Just being generous with your money, not being so tight with it.
It's like open-handed way of living, right?
Yeah, and you know what? It will come back to us. It is a great way of life. I think giving our finances to some worthy organizations. Worthy, the key word there. A lot of scams out there, so be careful. And I think obviously, and the obvious one that is in my life is giving to the Lord's work, giving to a church, or organizations that promote the gospel, the message of Jesus Christ, and because God kind of tells us to do that. But the principle is this: if we want our lives to be refreshed, if we want to live blessed lives,
if we want to get the best return on our investment, right?
Best return possible. It is to be generous, and that return will come back to it. Remember that.
Yep. So look for ways to be generous this week.
Hey, we really hope that this video was helpful for you. If you'd like to stay up to date on our weekly content, make sure to subscribe to our channel and click on that little bell icon so you can be notified when new videos are uploaded. And if you'd like to support the ministries here at Access Church and help make videos like this possible, there'll be a link in the description below. As always, we appreciate your partnership in helping us draw people into a growing relationship with God through Jesus Christ.